Ah. Hey, family. Hey, family. Be more city. 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 What's up, TikTok family? What's up, Facebook family? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Restream live stream family? What's up, Restream live stream family? This is Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Come On Couch Conversation Show. Hey, family. Uh, I'm not even going to do this to myself, right? Because I call myself starting at exactly 6 o'clock. I was outside talking. I received a phone call, right, about dropping off some sleeping bags and blankets. I told y'all when people call my housing program, when people call Strengthen the Community or the Latanya D. Copeland House of Hope, they think they call in an actual shelter. And to make it real simple, this guy just dropped off a lot of sleeping bags, right? And blankets. I don't give everybody the address to where I'm at. This is another business address, but I don't give everybody this address. Okay? I don't play. Y'all know what happened to me 3 years ago, but I don't play. See, a lot of y'all start platforms to start a bunch of chaos and confusion amongst each other, right? That's not how Steve Copeland rolled. And then when I tell y'all, you know, the things that I do to help build back up in the community, and I might tell y'all the things that I do, but keep in mind, I can't do it by myself. So I work with other community programs, family, businesses, and organizations. So when y'all hear me say, when I talk about myself, right? And if y'all want to put it where, oh, he's selfish, he's self-centered, he think it's all about him. Let me share this. This is a calling on my life. So you can say what you want, you can knock it any way you want. But if you have a calling to help your people and you're not doing it, don't blame that mess on me. I became obedient to my calling. And I tell y'all a lot of times too, the Holy Spirit is what called me to go back out into the community, to embrace, to empower, to encourage, to motivate our people. Y'all don't like hearing it. And most of the times, the ones that don't like hearing it are the ones whose lives are still full of chaos and confusion. And that's not to knock you. I know how important it is to work on your insides. That's why whenever y'all hear me come on, I talk about my 12-step spiritual program. Because I had to learn to get to love Steve. And anytime, and look at my prompt. Why are men and women, I put it up before, something similar, right? I said the new bullying right? I was looking at the new bullying, right? Adults, men and women, going around bashing and talking bad about each other. I said, so that's the new bullying thing. Men ain't this, women ain't that, men ain't this. And I be listening to a lot of y'all. I ain't trying to be smart, TikTok. I be like, do y'all got mothers? Do y'all got fathers? And a lot of the men that I hear that bash the women, you make me think you must didn't have a healthy relationship with your mama. And all men are like that. My mother raised me to be responsible, productive, and all that good stuff. Even though Steve went and did what he did, Barbara Jean did a good job. So I was thinking about this prompt, right? I was thinking about this. I said, I'm going to put this up. I said, I'm going to put this up. Wait a minute. Exactly. The modern day bullying, the modern day. This the new thing now. The modern day bullying between men and women. Why? Why? Now keep in mind, I had to put it like this, right? My oldest niece. What's up, cuz? My oldest niece is 46 years old. She was born in 1980, right? I was 18. I raised her, her sister, her brother, and the two other ones as time went on, because the family was together. You know what I mean? And I don't mean was like we're not, but that was the family, the village, the bond, right? Well, anyway, this is how I raised the family, because this is the way I was taught. So, and saying that, family, my niece, my nephews, then my children came, right? So whenever y'all hear me talk about certain things, I can only share from a level of personal experience. Okay? So I don't want y'all to catch an attitude with Big Steve. I can only talk about my personal experience. The life that I used to live, how I don't live that life no more, how God turned my life around and I live a totally different way of life. I don't have to come on here lying to nobody, being fake and phony like I'm better than or other than you. I'm no different than you. It's just a lot of the mistakes that I used to make, I don't make no more like that. And if y'all think I'm going to shut my mouth, you got another thing coming. You can shut your mouth because you're afraid to let people know how corrupt and how much of a crook you used to be. I thank God for everything I went through, family. You know how sometimes people ask you, if you could go back and change this, change that, what would you change? Nothing. Because now, mind you, I didn't understand, but I understand now. My life was predestined way before I came here, so everything was already designed. You get me? Now, if y'all notice, right, I always talk about growing up without a father. I'm 64 years old. Y'all don't never hear me on here talking about men this, men that, men sorry, bunch of suckers, or my father this, or father that, down and fathers, you get me? Now, I'm going to come for your butt if I know you got children and you not being a part of their lives, because that mess hurt. I ain't lying. Not having them, by him not being there. So I'm only trying to encourage men with sons and daughters to be a part of their lives as much as you can. You get me? That's because I grew up without a father. I know how that feel not having your dad in your life. That's all I be trying to tell a lot of y'all. And I wouldn't give a freak if you get offended or not. It's the truth. I just want us as fathers or as parents to do better. That's all, family. So look, in sharing that, right, I was thinking about the new bullies. Because I'm looking at how our children tend to bully other children, but you got parents, excuse me, you got men and women that's bashing each other. And a lot of y'all go to these platforms, spend all your money to degrade your own brothers, your own sisters, sending galaxies, sending this to drop people and stuff. And y'all think that's cute. And the part that really trips me out, family, when I hear y'all say stuff like, yeah, the white man this and the white man that. I'm like, huh? Yeah, it's the white man. It's the white man got us fighting against each other. Now look how handsome I look saying that. And I watch a lot of y'all go on people platforms that put them prompts up and bash each other. I be tripping cold out. I be tripping out. And y'all know me, right? When Big Unc come up, because some people want me to come over, right? I'll be like, because I can't do nothing but share my experience, strengths, and hopes. Tell you how I used to be and the things that I do today to be a better man today. A lot of times when I hear a lot of people talk, man, how is it, analytically? Or they sound like they over there reading from a encyclopedia to explain certain things. I'm like, oh my God. That doesn't sound nothing about the reality of life. But it sounds good. And y'all fall for it. Y'all fall right for it. I'll be like, oh my God.
What subject are we on today, sir?
You can't see that right there. Why the modern day bullying, men and women bullying each other.
Okay.
I was up here thinking about how our youth tends to go around bullying each other, or certain kids bully other kids. And I started thinking about how a lot of people, I can only speak for TikTok, men and women on TikTok bullying each other, talking bad about each other. Make me think.
I was bullied. I was bullied as a kid. So I grew up with the bullying, the name calling, the this, that, the others. So I mean, I know what bullying feels like too. So I mean, like that part for me is probably the worst trouble I've been through in my life. And then being SA'd by a female. No, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to get beat up with it.
And that's probably why I was so overprotected when I was coming up. Because if I knew you was a bully, I came for you. And I thought about that from time to time, right? Mainly when I was in elementary, middle school. And if I knew you was the type of person that went around taking advantage of weak people, the geeks, like we called them nerds back in the day, stuff like that. If you did it when I was around, that was fine. When I wasn't around, I meant. But
Right.
once I heard about it, I approached you. Like if I stayed home from school, I approached you. And that goes back to that being that overprotective. But now I had to watch out, like with my children, if they had any issues with anybody trying to bully them, intimidate them, their mother and I was on it. I ain't play. We ain't play. We ain't play. You know, I know they didn't grow up fighting, and I'm talking about my children. They didn't grow up fighting like most inner city kids did. That's not how they were. But they knew if you came at them a certain way, they had to protect themselves. They had to do what they had to do. But other than that, no. I already knew that. So if somebody told me your child this or your child that, I'm gonna call you a liar because I already knew as they was younger coming up. Now that they grown, you know, they ain't gonna just swing on you to go no prison and stuff like that. Come on. But they know the goal of protecting themselves, you know, if it got down to that. That's why little Steve eventually went, and I'm really, really proud of him. He got his license to carry.
Cool.
He got his license to carry. And he did everything the proper way.
Right.
And what amazed me when now he told me, I know they went to the gun range. I know they was doing all that. His mother, sisters, all that. I knew it. But I did not know that he had eventually, right, got his
CCW.
Yeah. What you say, Corey? You said, speaking on bullying, the unaliving of a 15-year-old by an 18-year-old, Jaden Peer in Queens, brought tears to my cause be honest, I was talking with somebody the other day about their daughter being bullied. And they asked me, do I know any boxing arenas around? So I told her about Umar Boxing, and I told her about the one on Pennsylvania. But I said, I'm not sure if they work with women. I'm not sure. But anyway, what's her name? Krishan or Christine something? And she won her fight the other day. I said, yeah, let me tell her the one on Pennsylvania. And I'm quite sure Umar does it too. But her daughter's being bullied.
Oh,
and she won her daughter.
Yeah.
Huh?
Krishan?
Yeah.
She did her thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember the guy that was doing the announcement, that's Donald. That's Donald from that's Donald Morton from the Be More News.
Okay.
So I know she, and if I'm not mistaken, the guy that I seen her with that owned the shop was the guy that I went and I talked to on Pennsylvania Avenue, because that's where I first got cleaned at that facility.
Okay.
And I'm proud of her. I'm proud of her. So a mother called me because she didn't want to go ghetto. And Christian woman, and you know, I understand. Just because we love Christ don't mean we don't get angry and stuff, get mad. You know what I mean? So anyway, I just love the fact that, be honest, mine's are grown now. And any issues that they might be facing, racism or whatever, they know the type of work daddy do. And if they need daddy to come and speak up for them, they know daddy have no problem. If somebody make them feel like, you know, they being racist against them for whatever, you know. But now,
I never had that opportunity to get to know my father. My mother tried to take care of me the best way she could.
Right.
There wasn't no way of her stopping the bullying of that. And that was the thing. So I don't know if my mother wanted me to take the and deal with it, or was she just trying to teach me a lesson? No, it is. I'm at the bottom of the food chain, so you might as well. So, that lets me know where I'm at in the food chain. I'm way down there. I ain't got nothing to prove to nobody because the last time I did that, I ended up putting a person in the hospital. So I told myself I wasn't going to do that. So after that, I just let it happen. I didn't do anything. I let them get their frustrations out and tell them, okay, hope you're done, but I'm going home now.
Man,
that's why I am the way that I am now. I've already been through so many fires to get stronger and stronger. There's no more fires for me to go through anymore. At least not now. Anytime I lose anybody, that's putting me through fire from me, because God took another one away from me that truly cared for me and really tried to help me. So that would be another burning memory for me. And then I have to grow from there. So yeah, I'm okay with it though.
Candy must be around her boyfriend she dropped. No, I think she home. But
I don't argue with guys. Whatever guys got me playing or got something for me doing, I follow him. I don't follow myself anymore. I stopped doing that.
Well, I talked with this. I had a wonderful conversation with this guy not too long ago. I ain't know I was talking that long. Progress isn't possible without change. And oh my God, we had a nice conversation. Permanent Resident Mortgage Group. And everything we was talking about, OG, is what the temporary housing program is about, with the rehabbing and revitalizing houses. So him and I and some people want to sit down and talk. I told him this was meant, because normally my phones is on vibrate or silent. And when he called me, I answered. I normally let people leave me a message. So he dropped some stuff off, and we was out there talking for the longest time about, getting the finances, because he's a mortgage broker, getting the finances to do the actual work, rehabbing and revitalizing houses. Right. And not only that, I told him my mindset, right, is blocks. But I got some.
We can only do one at a time.
Huh?
We can only do one at a time.
Well, that's true, one at a time. But the goal is blocks.
Unless we get enough people in the program for building, then we could do two at a time.
Well,
you see what I'm saying?
That's where I'm trying to get my mind to go. But God told me blocks. So some people down the line was talking about, yeah, you might have to do one here, one there, one here, one there. Now, once we do, that's more like personal, you know. That one house here, one house there. Because that's what Gladstone was working with me with. Like he did Jerome. Jerome got about 5 or 6 houses up on Emerson Avenue that he used for his recovery program. That's just Emerson. I ain't talking about the other blocks he got houses in. But anyway,
Right.
that's not where my mind was at the time. My mind is purchasing blocks, and starting to rehab and revitalize houses where you can fix them up the way you want. You know, stores and all that in it. Well, anyway, every time, this what the mortgage guy was talking about, he kept saying blocks too. He said he does work, but the work they does is not basically in the inner city, but he want to start coming into the inner city with investors doing some work.
Okay.
Yeah. And
so where does that put us?
huh? No, actually, keep in mind, because I shared with him, just like I'm gonna share with you again, about the 30 units that
Right.
for the 5.4 million.
Right.
So what I told him, that people that have community land trusts normally have a bunch of houses in that land trust. The houses might be going for like 5, 10, 20,000. You can get those houses out of the land trust and rebuild up in communities. There is normally a whole community that's torn apart. So that's the goal. That's the goal.
Okay.
And
okay. Sounds good to me.
yeah. And this is what I was explaining to him about that package deal. But now the thing is, in Baltimore City, whenever you want to start rehabbing and revitalizing houses on a larger scale, you got to get the city's approval.
Right.
Right? For the zoning and all of that.
Right.
So I'm running everything down to them because I've been there. And the goal is, anytime something fails, you learn from it what not to do into your next, like, business meeting or, you know, proposition wise. So you learn it little by little what not to do. Huh?
Fix the problem first, then bring it back up. Address the issue first, and then, you know, do what we do.
Well, that was yeah, part of what I was explaining to him, where I done ran across people that it's business. So if you want them to invest their money, you want them to have a nice return on their investment. But now some of them that I talk with, they invested certain amount of money into these projects, and the person ran off with that money. And I was like, God damn.
Okay, I see it now. People are starting to get scared investing their money into companies because most companies don't stick around.
No, it's the shysters. That's all it is, OG. It's the ones that talk a good game. And they building now. Some of them are building. But what they have a tendency of doing with some people they actually work with, and some people they take from them and run, you know. So it's how they make their money. And I was telling him that's one of my biggest things, is actually finding people that's really willing to invest, take that risk. You know, now we're not talking about, when we talking about blocks or community as a whole, we talking about millions, not no 100,000 here, 200,000 there. That's not what we talking about.
So are we also revamping the stores and the grocery stores and stuff like that?
Well,
And
when,
they
yeah, normally,
revitalize it?
yeah, normally when you building back up in the community, it's like you hear a lot of people talk about purchasing land just for Black people alone, where you can start your own supermarkets, churches, all this type of stuff. All that stuff is still here. It's just rebuilding it back up. It's just rebuilding. All that sounds good, but it's rebuilding back up what's basically being torn apart. That's all it is, you know. And you want to make them affordable for mainly the people that can't afford these $500,000 homes and stuff. And that's something I was telling him about, mainly with the gentrification. A lot of the houses that they are creating in the inner city, believe me, it ain't cost them no $300,000-$400,000 to fix them houses up. And you build them from the ground up. It might have cost them, after it's all said and done, maybe $100,000. But then they're gonna turn around and sell it back for about 3 times the amount. Which that leaves a lot of your low to moderate income people out the deal. That's why you got people that's coming in and they purchasing all these houses to build back up in the community. And if you get property, land that's flat, you can redesign it and have your own stores and all of that in it. All depends on how much you got. Because if you only have enough just to put 10 or 20 houses on a piece of land, then you want to put a convenience store there, right? For the community itself. But the whole goal is the money going right back into the communities, into the community. That's where the shopping centers come in at. Like where I'm at over here near Morgan, right? Now, most of your store owners over here where Morgan is at is Black. Most of your churches, just like in the inner city, pastors are Black. They Black. Mainly, it all depends on the community you in. You can live in an area full of upper class people, right? Living in mansions. But if you notice, it's not many corner stores on like where mansions are at. So they have to drive a little distance. Might not be that far, but they have to drive to go make market and all that type of stuff. So the money that you spend in your community goes back into your community. But the thing with the inner city communities, too much money is going out. The money coming, but it's going out. It's not rotating back within the city as fast as it should. Let me put it like that.
No, because the city don't really care. They keep taking as long as we let them. So what we need to do is find our own personal bank and deal with that issue there, because that bank will govern our project and everything else. Never thought about that, didn't you?
Yep, yes I have, because we got a lot of our own personal banks. You got to understand, if your numbers ain't right, they ain't lending you no goddamn money to fix nothing anyway.
Right.
So that's what a lot of people don't get. In the Black community, and I said I was going to look it up as well, because we do have a lot of Black-owned banks in the Black community. It's people that's not involved in the community that tends to say things. But you do have black owned banks in the black communities. But still, it's just like anywhere else. They invest in your money. When you put your money into your savings account and all that type of stuff, IRAs or whatever they call it, that bank or that institution is going to use your money because it's sitting there to lend to other people to earn money off your money and pay you a certain percentage. But their interest rates is much higher. And that's the point of the institutions. They need your money. They got to have your money. I don't care if it's a black bank, white bank, blue bank, purple bank, or facility system. The whole point is using your money to earn interest off of your money. And that's what I was talking to the guy about. It's like doing the housing program, you use other people's money. I said, Trump and them do it. He bust out laughing because when you know business, they using other people's money to invest in business, products, buildings, stuff like that. So once my eyes became open to that, I was like, oh, I got it now. You got so many people out there, like it's getting ready to go dark now. Like our entertainers and all this type of stuff. You got people out there with money that invest. Well, it's sitting in an institution somewhere. Yeah, I was just waiting for this. It's 37 minutes. It then went dark. I was waiting to see how long it's gonna take my restream to go dark. All right, cuz I gotta end this right here. It went dark.